Yes.
Hi, welcome to Power Sports Training video. We're training today for intense speed camp purposes. So what I'm going to do today is show you a few exercises you can do in preparation for a track series, in preparation for speed training. Now, on a beautiful day like today, you want to make sure you use the track in its entirety, but every now and then you got to break out some tools. So for instance, I have my hurdle here with me today. So we're going to work some drills that you can do on the hurdle. So as I'm working these drills, I want you to pay attention to what I'm doing. There's some small things that count. So make sure you're using your toes, make sure you're using your calf, also make sure you're using your arm for your sprint. For the hurdle, we're going to talk about hip mobility, in particular frontal plane mobility, which is side to side movements, as well as a few sagittal plane movements also. But generally on the track, you're going to run sagittal 90% of the time. You're going to be in the sagittal plane 90% of the time. So a lot of sprinters, elite sprinters, realize the benefit of focusing on hip mobility from a lateral standpoint, from a frontal plane standpoint. So for instance, one of our first drills, we're going to do a hip flexion squat, a lateral side step. Now, if you have more than one hurdle, you can go through each hurdle one by one, come up to full extension between each lateral step. Chest up, back flat, step, keep your head up through, step in and out. All right, so we'll do that again. Again, I'm working lateral hip mobility. You gotta get your hips low, gotta be able to flex your hips. Step, through, head up, back in. So, our next drill, still working lateral hip mobility. I'm gonna step to the side or front of the hurdle. For this particular drill, we're just gonna pick your leg up, extend your leg, flex your hip, toes up, take it over the cone, take it over the hurdle. You can use a cone, but for now we're gonna use the hurdle, as I mentioned. So again, I want to make sure I use my toes, use my calves. I'm gonna use my other leg to help generate this movement. Now you can always work your arms in conjunction with any drill that we're doing out here, whether it's on a hurdle, ladder, bands, and especially when you're sprinting. So my first move, I'm gonna come to my toes, which means extend my ankle, bring that other leg up, come over. All right, now you want to come back too. So you want to come to the midline of your body, towards the midline of your body for adduction. Just did abduction, adduction. All right, so now I'm going to put a little bounce to it. All right, so you saw me work my hands in there too, work my arms in there too. That's very important. Now, tons of drills you can do with the hurdle. That's one. If you set them up where each one is at different height, you can do both under and over within the same drill. So, for instance, if I had two cones here, I go under one, pop back, over the other. Under again, pop back, over, under. All right, so that's 2 and 1. My next drill, I'm going to work in explosive plyometric. Now, I got this idea from my son, real good athlete. You guys will meet him one day. Hopefully, you'll see him on TV. So, hurdles in general are used for Olympic athletes, sprinters, but any sport could benefit from having some plyometric explosiveness. So, what that means is jumping, leaving the ground, safe landing. Now, whenever you're jumping, first you want to make sure you engage your lower body. That's why it's important for all sports, because most sports are going to use your legs primarily. So make sure you engage your lower body by creating that squat first. All right, so as you squat, hands go up a little bit, down, squat, explode up, take your hands up with you. All right, now I'm gonna keep my hands to my side as I squat. As I come up, I want to explode with my hands, simulating what could be a basketball movement, a tackle, any type of blocking, soccer for a goalie, hockey, you name it, tennis. You're going to need to use your arms and your legs in conjunction. Objectively, you want to land soft too. That's going to teach you how not to create too much impact in your joints during sprinting. Keep you light on your feet. Now make sure you're going up with your chin too. Don't try to jump looking down. For one, it's not safe. For two, you may not know where you're landing. All right, now for an explosive plyometric jump, you can start where you got enough room where as you squat, you're not letting your head hit the post, or you're not letting your head go in front of the post. So it's kind of odd. You can depending on what side you're on. If you want to work on this side, you want to make sure you land right in front of the hurdle. This gives you more room to jump and explode through. Now, generally speaking, on a hurdle jump, you want to make sure you're warmed up. All these exercises we talked about can be considered a way to warm up for a sprint, in particular the 40-yard dash. So you can grab a hurdle. If you don't have a hurdle, you can mimic those without one, or a cone, as I mentioned earlier. All right, so my first jump, I'm going to make sure I land softly. Now, if I had more than one cone, I would jump repeatedly so I could form that fast switch reflex. So for today, we're going to just do one jump, single jump. So far back. All right, that's your hurdle jump. You can do that with one leg, take it down a little bit. You can land on one leg. A lot of different ways you can mix it up. Make sure you're having fun out here. One thing for sure, if you don't know what you're doing, you don't want to try this on your own. Make sure you get with a professional like myself. Come to some of our intense speed camps. Get some coaching by some of our professionals. Make sure you're getting the best foot forward. Make sure you're not behind. Make sure you're not getting a disadvantage by training unsafe, training unsmart. Come train with us. Intense speed camps hosted 3 times a week in the DMV. We're here for you. All your athletes out there, if you're a coach, send them to us. We'll make sure to send them back better. Peace.